Yo, good afternoon, guys. There is another trade war, and this one is a very serious one that has just started between China and the US. And this one is very, very serious. Um, it seems that China is no longer backing down. They're very ready for this trade war. And Donald Trump has been taken by surprise because he wasn't ready. He thought that he had everything in control, under control. But as it turns out, he was mistaken. And here's the background. You remember last year when Donald Trump just took office, um, and he was talking about all these tariffs, the trade war with China, raising tariffs for different countries around the globe. And what that did was that it made other countries or the adversaries of the US to realize that America cannot be reliable. They cannot rely on Americans, you know. So Donald Trump, in other words, has awoken the sleeping giants. Okay, the tariffs that he gave, other countries said, okay, enough is enough. I think we cannot rely on Donald Trump. We cannot rely on America. It's no longer predictable. So these countries have learned to survive on their own. And China just realized that it has so much leverage over America because the technology that America needs badly today, all the technologies, the high tech equipment, need raw materials that are only available in China. The Chinese are the only superpower that has invested heavily in mining and processing of high end raw materials. You understand? Meanwhile, America is also the only country that was producing like high quality products. But the problem is, these high quality um, chips, computer chips, semiconductors, cannot be made without Chinese raw materials. So Donald Trump started by saying, we are not going to sell our chips to China. And because they said we are not going to sell our chips to China, China was able to develop its own chips. Okay? Until now, China can make its own chips, and they realize that those American chips that they are refusing to sell us are made using our raw materials. So China said, we are no longer selling our raw materials to you because now we are making our own chips. So we need those raw materials for ourselves. So now America is scrambling now. They cannot start mining today. They cannot bring those mines to America and start mining and processing. They were only using finished products, already processed materials to make their products. So China has cut off the supply chains. And Donald Trump is very furious. He's very angry. He's talking about imposing 130% on all Chinese products or all Chinese goods going into America. But guess what? China is ready for that because they have discovered new markets away from America. And how did they discover new markets? It's because of the tariffs that you started giving last year. Because of those tariffs, China was able to shift. They are now selling to Europe what they were supposed to sell to America. They're now selling to Africa, emerging markets in Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, all those developing economies in Africa are now sourcing from China. So China has found a replacement. It's up to America now to find an alternative source for the raw materials that they need to produce their high-tech equipment, high-tech weapons, because if they don't, then they are done. It's over for America. It's over.